Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And do you guys notice anything different? Well, we changed the logo. I didn't get to change anything else. I didn't change the bottom left graphic or anything like that just yet, but we will be making changes as we do march forward on. So with that being said, enough of the talk about what's happening with the channel and what's changing, but let's actually jump into the overall assessment of the market. So I am going to be streaming this live. For anybody who is watching it live, welcome to the channel. For anybody who is watching the past broadcast, welcome to the channel anyway. So let's actually jump into it. Let's address what's happening. So we actually see Bitcoin kind of making its moves around. Nothing too crazy overall. We're still down a little bit. The overall crypto market cap is still sitting at about 2.12 trillion, sitting at about 1.47% up on the daily. So, you know, overall, there's nothing really too concerning going on in the market. We do see Bitcoin ranging around that 46K zone. We did breach a little bit of a nice support zone today, but we are going to be addressing that as well. Ethereum still showing signs of strength, nothing too crazy with that. We also see ADA is up a little bit, nothing too crazy. We see Solana still making its way to almost $200. So altcoins are still performing fairly well, or I should say some of them are. You know, some are just kind of ranging on support until the next validation zone on Bitcoin. I still think that we are looking fairly good though for that nice parabolic run in the fall into winter. So let's actually really talk about our best friend down here, our lovely friend Hedera Hashgraph, sitting at about a 48 number spot on the coin market cap list, which is fairly good. Now we do see that it is up 18% on the 7-day span, still looking very, very strong. Overall, it's been holding really good. We actually see on the 1-day chart, this actually looks very bullish just on the 1-day. I don't technically like to look at this chart though. I like to look at it on TradingView. So we actually can jump over to that and talk a little bit about Hbar. So we had a little dropping point on Hbar today. We actually bounced off of the 200-day MA, which I told you guys multiple times that is a totally strong point for us, and we could pretty much jump down there. Totally fine. We retested it. We jumped off of it. Very good nonetheless. The 200-day MA has held for us for a very long time. I think that this is extremely bullish in our case, and we are showing signs of strength opposed to Bitcoin right now, as we do see Bitcoin kind of just ranging around that 46.5K zone. I think Hbar, for what it's worth, has been showing that nice overall zone of buy pressure, because I think a lot of people are finally realizing that, listen, Hbar is not your typical asset. Hbar is going to be pretty much appreciating in price as we do march forward on. And not only that, but also let's talk about the fact that in the past, like I would say 3-4 weeks, we have been showing signs of just upward pressure. A little bit of some pullbacks here and there, nothing too crazy. It's just slight pullbacks. But for the most part, this looks very good, right? We bounced off of nice support. We regained our nice demand zone up here, going back to even the beginning of March of 2021. And it looks like we want to break out. It's just there's a few factors that need to be factored in. Now, the concerning things, in my opinion, right? The things that are concerning me overall is the dollar, okay? So the dollar has been showing some signs of strength as it does march forward on to this nice resistance zone here. It actually broke it a little bit. That concerned me, you know, quite a bit today, because that means that it's going to rally and try retesting 93.44%. Now, what I don't want to see is us break above this again. I think that that will cause a rally on the dollar, and I think that that will also cause some volatility on the indices as well as even in crypto. Most risk assets will take a little bit of a hit. We actually seen the indices pretty bad today, to be completely honest with you. I'm going to be watching this throughout the week, but we actually see that we closed down about 87, almost 88 points on the NASDAQ. We also see the Dow Jones is down nearly almost 69 points, and we also see the S&P 500 is down about 6 points. Now, we do see that there is a major sell signal on the Dow Jones. This is something that is concerning for me because stocks also move with crypto. Now, obviously, I think that this is just short-term volatility, and I do think that at some point in time we will range higher and higher as we do move out through the next few weeks. Now, the thing that is concerning for me, the major thing that is concerning for me is just the dollar. All right, that's pretty much it. I am watching the dollar very closely as this is a good incisive idea for what is going to be happening with risk assets as we do see the volatility bleeding into the indices. But for the most part, I think crypto is ready to move, right? And I've said this multiple times. This goes all the way back to September. This drop here, I see people actually calling for a bear market right now, but that's not the case, okay? Short-term volatility is totally fine. They think that this was a dead cat bounce, that everybody was getting excited. We're going into a bull market, and now we just dump. But that's not the case. Okay, there's major market factors that actually pretty much pushed us into this drop. Okay, first off, yeah, we needed a correction on Bitcoin. There was no doubt about it. This was a solid uphill battle with no major pullbacks. Like, this was maybe 13%. There was nothing too crazy about those slight pullbacks, and they were pretty much just volatile price action. But this was a slight pullback. This was a nice correction, and we did bounce off of strong support. As a matter of fact, I was calling for 42K even back on these days here. So realistically speaking, I'm totally fine with us breaching down to that 42K or even breaching down to what we breached down today, which was about 44.5K, bouncing off of the 50-day MA, I mind you, which is very strong. And now we are still back in those nice solid demand zones, and we are ranging in between about 46K and also 47.7K. So realistically speaking, Bitcoin still looks fairly good. I think that on the short term, yeah, it looks very volatile. It could have scared a lot of people. But anybody who follows me on Twitter, follows the Discord, or even follows the channel should know that this is just short-term volatility, realistically. All right? Especially even on the weekly. All right? Zoom out and look at the weekly chart because this looks very good still. We haven't broken key lines or anything like that. Honestly, if we look here, this is a similar drop that going back to even February of 2021, where I was calling for the original 38K zone being breached. It didn't happen, but hey, it is totally fine. It waited a little bit until March, which is great. But overall, I want to talk to you guys about the market cycle that we're in. Okay, and that is going all the way back to 2017 and 2018. And I know that I already compared this before, but it's very good to also compare this for even Hbar, because Hbar was never a part of a bull run. And why is that significant? Well, it's simple. There's a lot of assets that were not a part of a bull run that have made significant moves this year alone and continue to show strength opposed to Bitcoin. But the thing that's very funny to me is that when we look back to even, September, and everybody said, this year's different, this cycle, no, there's no way that we're going to have a dropping point in September. And of course, a lot of people could blame it on Michael Saylor. Okay, that's totally fine. But realistically speaking, when we talk about what could be happening here and what could be happening next, is the fact that, yeah, we had this slight pullback, 40% back in 2017, 2018. Okay? What happened after was an increase on Bitcoin about 600% almost. And if we go off of those lows that we printed now, okay, say for so the percentage-wise is a little bit lower, okay? So I said that we could see maybe 40% drop on Bitcoin. We didn't get the 40% drop. It's totally fine. We got nearly half of that at about 19.15%. Okay, but what if we do pump about 572% from our current levels? Well, it's very simple. We could have a major blow off top where we even pump to 200K plus. And I think that that's the case where a lot of people are kind of reading into the 200K plus zones and even almost 300K. Now, do I think that we will hit 300K, 200K, even 100K? No. I don't think that this is the exact same, strategy that we're doing from 2017 to 2018. I don't think that we're printing the same exact patterns. I think that we are moving very similar in a sense of, pretty much we are expecting pullbacks and expecting major rises in price, similar to what happens every single 4-year cycle. We are still in the 4-year cycle. I just don't think that these price targets are overall legible in terms of what's going to actually happen. Bitcoin has not been showing any signs of real strength, real buy pressure. Think about it like this, okay? All of us that are watching this right now, everybody who's in this chat, everybody who's watching this video on the playback, think about it like this. Wouldn't it be easier, say for so you want one of your friends, whoever you're talking to buy into crypto? Do you honestly think that they would be buying Bitcoin at $47,000, or do you think that they would be buying Hbar at about 32 cents? Which one do you think is more likely? And that is my point, right? A lot of people say, well, institutional investors are going to be FOMOing into Bitcoin and allowing for the price to increase significantly. But that's not the case. Bitcoin has been slow. It's been methodical. It has been showing signs of weakness throughout this entire bull run. And why is that? It's simple. Nobody cares about Bitcoin anymore. Bitcoin is the past. And I understand that we have to care about Bitcoin for the present time because we are still ranging with Bitcoin and we haven't decoupled fully from it. But I'm just saying it right now. Would you rather be buying Hbar or Bitcoin? Would you rather be buying ADA or Bitcoin? It's simple, right? You want to buy altcoins, not Bitcoin. And that is the exact same mentality that will go through anybody's mind, even if you are a normie individual. Now, I've been saying this for a very long time. Hbar is a normie coin. It's the perfect coin to have that major FOMO event. Think about it. ADA's FOMO was built off of smart contracts and that it's the Ethereum killer. It's the true Ethereum killer. It's going to $100 plus, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. But think about Hbar. Okay, how isn't Hbar the perfect coin to shill to these normie investors? Anybody who's in Hbar right now at the ground floor level, give yourself a round of applause because we are very early in terms of what Hbar really is and what it could be doing. Okay, and the reason why I say that Hbar is the perfect coin to shill to normies is because think about it like this. Okay, first off, we are severely under $1. Okay, we're 70 cents away from $1 pretty much. Okay. Now the thing about this is the fact that we're that far away from $1, and a lot of people could throw $300, $400, $500 in and get a significant amount. And when they see the governing council, first off, nobody cares. Okay, normie investors don't care about what Hbar is doing. You could tell them all day long, hey, Hbar is doing 1 billion transactions a year. They are working with high tier companies. They're trying to pretty much reshape the entire crypto scene through Hashgraph technology instead of block. They don't care about that. Okay, that would be like speaking, Chinese to somebody who doesn't even know Chinese. They're not going to understand anything about it. Okay, but when we talk about, hey, look at who their governing council is. Once they see Google, IBM, Boeing, LG, these major companies, and they're like, the coin's at 31 cents, and people are saying, hey, I mean, Hbar has the potential to be this, that price, whatever the case may be. And I'm not going to come on here and shill, garbage price predictions and say Hbar is going to $100 this bull run. No. But I'm just saying there is going to be a lot of individuals out there, a lot of YouTubers, when they catch on to Hbar, when they catch on to what Hbar is doing, they're going to shill extremely hard to those individuals that are normie investors that don't have any sort of, intellect to understand what Hbar is actually doing. And they will just throw money to the wind off of the governing council alone. Okay? Not only will they throw money alone due to the governing council, but they will throw it in because it's very easy to get a lot for your dollar. Think about it. At 30 cents, you are getting pretty much 3 for $1. Okay? Why would they invest money into Bitcoin? Normie investors are not throwing money into Bitcoin. I'll tell you who's throwing money into Bitcoin. People like Michael Saylor, Elon Musk, these big business individuals that could throw money into this and get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth Bitcoin. Now, when we talk about Hbar, the FOMO event on Hbar is going to be extremely different, first off, because first off, think about it like this. Okay, right now, we are in the ground floor. We are in the slow building process. We are in the process where we are building a strong foundation for the next major breakout event, okay? When we talk about what Hbar could do, all right, there's not normie investors buying Hbar right now. Go talk to one of your friends that, watches crypto videos, they're in crypto. Ask them, do you know what Hbar is? I guarantee you that they will say, what is Hbar? What is Hashgraph technology? That is the big difference between everybody who is invested into Hbar right now. And I think that is the biggest concerning factor about Hedera, is that there's a lot of people that are invested into Hbar that think that the price tomorrow should be, $3 plus. But the difference is that we are so early. And don't get me wrong, we are not going to miss this bull run. And I still think that the targets of $3 to $6 plus are still there on the table for us, no doubt about it. But the thing is that the biggest concerning factor is that not a lot of people know what Hbar really is doing right now. But it's the fact that we are growing and building behind closed doors. So when we actually move up in price, and all of the individuals that watched my videos, that listen to me on Twitter, that talk to me on Discord, all of us that are in Hbar right now are going to be celebrating when we are at 75 plus cents. We're on major CX listings like Coinbase and stuff, and we have the normie investors buying the smart money. And when I say that, is all of the people who are buying now, we are extremely set in terms of a comfy position on Hbar, because the FOMO hasn't even begun yet. And when the FOMO does start, that's when it's too late to buy Hbar. And when I say that, I say it with the idea on it's too late to get 2 for $1, 3 for $1, 4 for $1, even at some point, 1 for $1. Okay? Wait until the dumb money starts pouring into Hbar. Because right now, the only individuals buying Hbar is those with true intellect and the idea to understand what Hashgraph technology is actually doing in terms of being a revolutionary technology. Okay, and I've said that multiple times. Now, obviously, yeah, sure, we have concerning factors in the market. We have the dollar ranging in strength. We do have the indices closing red. They are very volatile right now. We see Ethereum dominance kind of ranging, finding some strength, which is very good to see. We also see that Ethereum dominance for what it is right now, like Ethereum dominance is ranging, while Ethereum itself is finding some strong support around that $3,400 to that $3,700 level, which is very good for us overall. Now, in terms of Bitcoin dominance, I said that Bitcoin dominance could be ranging to find some strong support, maybe even retest 42.67%, and look at what ended up happening, right? We pretty much almost did exactly what I said we would do. We ranged, we hit that level, and now I'm just watching for us to drop in price overall. But I will say this, okay? When we're talking about the idea of, hey, where could we range in the coming weeks to months for Hbar? Because, again, there's no real factors that tell us where Hbar is actually going to end up by the end of this bull run. You could ask anybody out there, any, TA specialist in this market, hey, where do you think Hbar could go in terms of price? Okay? Yeah, sure, we could do price predictions. Okay? But the difference is that we cannot get a grasp on the idea on what percentage we could lead to, because there's no past patterns to follow with Hbar. This is the first bull run for it. And in terms of the first bull run for Hbar, that is very bullish for us, because of the fact that the first bull run for most altcoins is extremely incredible. Go back to XRP's first bull run. Look at Solana's first bull run. Okay, so Solana, I mean, I applaud anybody who is a part of the Solana train, because we are still up 70% on the 7-day span. And I mean, Solana pretty much made this dip look like it was nothing in terms of strength. Now, including the smart contract idea of Hbar. Hbar does not even need smart contracts. They're not even doing smart contracts because they realize that smart contracts are extremely expensive and slow. And that is exactly my pinpoint, right? You have these people that are shilling ADA. Okay, I could not tell you how many ADA haters have came out of the woodwork talking down on Hbar for what it is. But the fact is, okay, first off, ADA just launched their smart contract network and it was a failed system. Okay, not only that, but ADA at $2.53 is extremely overvalued for what it is. There is no solid live project on the network. They're doing pretty much nothing right now. To make them invoke to have a $113.9 billion fully diluted market cap or an $81 billion market cap. But I will tell you right now, Hedera Hashgraph, for what it is, they are eliminating the use of smart contracts entirely. That is why when anybody says, well, Hedera's real TPS with smart contracts is, only 12 to 15 TPS. Who cares? Who honestly cares, right? Because we're not doing smart contracts. We are replacing smart contracts. We're saying, hey, let's get this old age technology out of here, that's extremely expensive, and let's actually get into something different. Let's do something more efficient, a lot more scalable, okay, a lot faster and a lot cheaper, that enterprises anywhere and everywhere are going to choose us over the competition. And we've already seen that. We've seen Ethereum companies saying, hey, Ethereum is way too expensive. Let's jump over to something that is inexpensive, very efficient, very fast, very cheap, and guess what that is? Hedera Hashgraph. And you're trying to tell me that Hbar at a $414 billion market cap is still undervalued? I would 100% agree with you. We are extremely undervalued for what we are doing. Like when we're talking about Bitcoin, when Bitcoin came out, blockchain technology was the big, boom on the street. We are invested into Hedera Hashgraph technology that hasn't even caught on yet. When we talk about $10 for Hbar, when we talk about $15 for Hbar, when we talk about $20, $30, $40, $50 plus, $100 plus for Hbar, it's going to happen. It might not happen this bull run, but it's going to happen by at least 2025, in my opinion. This is such a strong hold for me. And we have been showing significant signs of strength opposed to Bitcoin. Even if we go to the Hbar Bitcoin chart, right, and we actually look at this from an overall factor, we've been ranging here, but we are also breaking out on the Bitcoin chart. And this is something that I have been saying for a very long time, okay? We break this, and we break all-time high. That's very simple, okay? Once we get there, it's game over for Hbar. That is where I think that the true price discovery will lie. I think that we will range much, much higher. Not only that, but I still think that Hbar, for what it's worth, is one of those assets that will change a lot of people's lives. I think that this is life-changing. This is a life-changing asset, and we still see a lot of people talking down on it, which is totally fine to me. I don't really care about that. The biggest concern for me is just getting people into solid, proven projects. Okay, I'll tell you exactly why I haven't showed ADA to you guys at all. It's because there's already a better name on the block. That is Hbar. Why would I show you guys ADA at $1, at $2, at almost $3, when I could tell you guys about Hedera Hashgraph? This is an asset, in my opinion, that is doing the most legitimate business in crypto for what it is. Okay? If you're listen, if you want to help your parents out, it's safer so, your parents aren't retired yet, whatever the case may be, get them an Hbar. Get them a bag of Hbar. Christmas is coming up. Buy your family a bag of Hbar right now, and I guarantee you that nearly in the future, you are going to look back on it and say, wow, that was the best purchase that I've ever done. That is exactly what I do. My parents' birthdays came up. I bought them a bag of Hbar. I buy Hbar all the time. I buy Hbar every single day. Especially right now. Are you kidding me? Hbar right now is like, this is free coupons, right? This is free coupons for the yacht. Because practically at 31 cents, first off, we are still 14 cents away from the all-time high. Okay. Not only are we 14 cents away from the all-time high, but think about when we are at I don't know, $3.10, a 10x from our current prices. Or think about in a couple years when we are at $31 plus. And I don't even think it's going to take a couple years, because think about how many things are moving behind closed. The gears are moving, okay? Lehman and Mance have already said they're doing incredibly, incredible things behind closed doors. All right? And when we talk about what they are going to do, Coupon Bureau alone will allow us to move up in prices of $1 plus, just off of one use case alone. Okay? And for anybody who is asking me to talk about the LCX partnership, I've already talked about it. LCX is incredible. Okay? I've talked about LCX for what it's worth. I like LCX. I like what they're doing. They're a great platform, and also, like I said, you can't go wrong. It's partnered with Hedera. They're doing incredible things in terms of the overall regulated exchanges and stuff like that, in terms of securities and stuff. They're doing great things. Now, what I'm really talking about here is the idea on setting yourself up for future life-changing wealth. And you want to know what that is? Hedera Hashgraph. Okay? If we look at it logically, on a logical scale, and we look at Bitcoin, and we look at all these people saying, well, we're in a bear market, we're going back down, I expect, us to be back down to 20K by the end of, October, whatever the case may be is, man, I honestly don't understand how these people even made it to where they are. I mean, realistically speaking, I have called pretty much, I called this dip. Okay, I said back here, do not sell your altcoins. Hold them strong. We will be back soon. We already jumped, right? I mean, Hbar's at the highest prices that it's been at pretty much back before the actual dip. For an example, just to give you guys an idea, if you bought on May 13th, or if you bought back on May 12th as well, you're in profit right now. Isn't that absolutely crazy to think about? And people are still thinking that we are in a bear market. We've been in a bear market since April. That's what they say. The funny thing about this, okay, is that all you really need to do is go look at the past market cycles. Go look back at 2017, 2018. And actually, let's go back to Bitstamp, right? Because let's even go back to 2013, 2014. Now, I will be fully transparent with you guys. I was not around during the 2013, 2014 bull run. And a lot of people will say, well, why? I was 15 years old at this time, guys. I was not around during this time. Okay? I didn't even care about crypto at this time. Biggest mistake of my life, not being able to be put onto it. But look at exactly what ended up happening, right? So let's actually address this dip here. So from the top to the bottom of here, this was a 37% of a drop in price. Okay? Now, if we go from the all-time high here that it printed back in April, I'm sure it would be a lot more significant. But look at exactly what ended up happening after the dip happened, right? From the bottom of this candle to the top of this candle, it did roughly about a 1,200% of an increase in price, almost a 1,300% of an increase in price. Now, let's talk about this, because I think that this is the funny thing, right? So a lot of people are saying, hey, 100K Bitcoin, 100K this, whatever. I'm going to tell you guys right now. I'm going to warn you guys ahead of time. We are not going to 100K on Bitcoin. We are still going to have a bull market. I just don't think that we have 100K Bitcoin. And I'm going to talk to you guys. I'm going to tell you guys why. So here was a 1,300% of an increase in price, right? Now let's go look at the 2017-2018 bull run, which is right here. Now here is, again, September, or where is it? So this is actually 2016, so we actually have to go over here. So here it is. So here's 2017-2018, right? We had that 40% drop in price. So the drop was a little bit more. It was 3%, okay? Now, what was the increase in price, which I just showed you guys a little bit ago, what it was. But let's just do it again. So from the bottom of that candle to here, it was about 546%. Are you seeing something different, right? Are you seeing the true difference here? Because this is a 546% of an increase in price. This was a 1,300% of an increase in price. So you're looking at roughly about an 800% drop in percentage from here. More than half, almost. What does that tell you? It tells you that with every cycle, okay, and we can actually drop this down just a little bit just to make sure that it's accurate. So it's 560%. But this tells you with every single cycle, Bitcoin gets weaker and weaker. And you want to know why it gets weaker? It's simple. Bitcoin is not the one. Bitcoin's game, or its longevity in this game, is nearly over. Now, say for so, we already had this nice dip. So let's actually get rid of this. Let's get rid of this dropping point. Okay, so say for so we only dipped this far. Say for so the dip is just a little bit, less of what we're actually used to from the past market cycles of 37 to about, 40%. So off of the top of the all-time high to this price here, it's about 34%. But if we go off of what we just recently made in terms of a high, this is roughly about almost 20%. So it's totally fine. But say for so, okay, with the weakening cycles, because I do think that Bitcoin weakens with every single cycle, say for so we only go up about 250%. Okay, we'll still hit 100K plus, but I don't think that we see that increase in price. I really don't. Now, this would bring us to about 150K. I don't think that it goes to 100K. I'm going to tell you guys that right now. I'm going to be 100%, up front with you guys. And the reason why I don't think that it goes to 100K is because I don't think that we need it to go to 100K. Okay? I think there's a lot more attention on other altcoins. I think there's a lot more attention on Ethereum, on altcoins in general. I don't think Bitcoin is the thing. Okay? I honestly think that we range and pretty much break out and pretty much maybe get to the point of like 95K. Okay, just a little bit before 100K and it tapers off, and that's where the bull market is. Or the bear market is, I'm sorry. And where does this happen? Well, if we go off of the past market cycles, and please do not listen to somebody who is saying to you that this year is different, that we're going to be in a lengthening cycle, because I highly doubt it. Okay? Realistically speaking, we'll most likely top out at around somewhere in between, and we could actually move this over. We'll top out around somewhere in between November and also December. So it's probably going to top out around here. So this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so typically most bull markets and bear markets, usually the bull market will start by the end of the September month and range into October, November, and top out around the end of November into pretty much December. But I'm telling you guys right now, Bitcoin dominance is going to make new lows. First off, I don't doubt that at all. Especially even if we go off of the 1 week chart here. This is the 2017-2018 bull run, and we hit like roughly around 36%. I honestly think that Bitcoin dominance will range down to the 20s. And I think that this will be the last Bitcoin market that we're in, by the way, just to give you guys an insight. Now, overall, in terms of Bitcoin and the buy pressure on it, there's really no buy pressure on Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's been tapering off for a fairly long time. And that is exactly why I don't think that it hits 100K plus. But think about it like this. Wouldn't it be comical that everybody's waiting for 100K, right? They're saying, oh, we're not topped out yet. We're waiting for 100K to sell. We're waiting. We're waiting, right? But the thing is, okay, is the fact that this would be the best fake out event. Top out right before we hit 100K and go into a massive bear market. Okay, and I don't think that the bear market's going to last as long as it has in the past either. Because I think overall, when we talk about a utility-driven market, I think a utility-driven market will happen at some point in time as well, most likely in 2022, furthering the line to 2025. But with Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin's nearly finished. I think the overall idea of trying to get utility into Bitcoin, talking about the whole, even, going back to Oh, it's the store of value. It's the truest, store of value. That's just such a bad use case. You cannot say that it is. You can't. Okay? And not only is that a terrible use case, but we also talk about the fact that, they're trying to get banks to accept Bitcoin and blah, blah, blah. But Bitcoin is extremely slow for financial use cases. It's not going to be utilized in financial use cases. It's the only way for these individuals out there to FOMO into, an asset like Bitcoin and pretty much just get like a fraction of a Bitcoin. We see Pompliano constantly saying, throw $10 into Bitcoin and just get a fraction. It's going to be life-changing. Absolutely not. Okay? I just don't think that Bitcoin is going to reach 100K. I don't. I mean, listen, if it reaches 100K plus, that's totally fine. I still think that we will get buys at lower prices, that whatever the case may be. Like that extra 50K on Bitcoin, whatever the case may be on Bitcoin where we top out at. Nobody knows the true topping point. I'm just going to say, though, like, this would be perfect to top out here, somewhere around this, 85K to 95K zone, because it would be the perfect fake out event for all those individuals that are getting way too greedy. They're saying Bitcoin's going this, Bitcoin's going there. It's not. Okay, I just don't see it. It would be the perfect fake out event. Now, in terms of Hbar, right? Hbar is trying to, grow in terms of strength. And I do think that in terms of right now, what's happening is, I think right now, it's building for the next breakout point. I think that this is a great chart to look at, especially even on the weekly, right? If you look at the weekly chart for Hbar, let me turn off all of these lines so that people could actually see. But look at how extremely bullish this chart looks. We hit a nice support zone, even going back to May, all right? Ethereum companies are joining the Hedera Hashgraph train. Not only that, but we have so many updates to come, especially in Q4. We're talking about sharding for unlimited transactions per second, right? And when we're talking about Hbar for what it is, yeah, sure, we need Bitcoin to run this bull run. It doesn't matter. I don't even care about Bitcoin. My attention isn't really on Bitcoin. It is for now, just to kind of watch the price to see what's going to happen with the market. But my entire idea in terms of this market is setting myself up for the next major run in this market, and that is the utility market run that will happen in 2022 plus. So don't get me wrong, I will sell my crypto during this bull market top, and then I will buy the dip and HODL my utility tokens, because I think at that point the utility market alone is going to change the entire market. That's where we could say, all right, this year is different. This year is completely different. Yeah, that's when we could say that. But until then, we are still in a 4-year cycle. We are still playing by the rules. And this goes to show you, right? This goes to show you this 2013, 2014, 2017, 2018 bull market, and even what we're in now, right? We got that nice September dip. Now we're ranging for the nice fall pump, which is totally fine. And we didn't need to dip as far down as all these other cycles, because we already got that major dip in May. Now, overall, I will continue stacking Hbar until we get to the all-time high. I will stop buying here. And the reason why is because I'm already packed, guys. My bags have been packed. I backed the truck up, I grabbed all the bags, and I stuffed the truck up, and now my bags are extremely packed for the future. Okay? Now, in terms of the monthly chart for Hbar, do I really need to tell you guys what is happening here? This is the perfect chart. I don't think that there could be, I mean, unless we're talking about like, all right, we're pumping, the Solana chart is great for that. Okay, we can go look at the Solana chart and just idolize what happened with Solana, because it's extremely incredible. Just look at this. Okay? And we will most likely top out around $240 on Solana. I already said that. Now, in regards to this is extremely bullish. And I think that this is something that we are about to range for, even in terms of Hbar. So expect something like this to happen even in terms of Hbar. And look at, even on the monthly chart, it printed that great overall pattern, and we finally got that breakout event. This is what I'm saying. The FOMO events, and this is all from NFTs, just to give you guys an idea. NFTs alone. And Hbar is already doing incredible things with the NFT market. Tokenization on Hbar is going to be an absolute gem for the long-term utility cases behind it. But I'm telling you, we are not too much farther away. We are not. Especially considering the fact that if we go to the price, right now to the all-time high, we are only about 42% away. I'll put it to you this way. I am extremely bullish. It is a lower percentage to the bottom than it is to the top. And that alone should tell you what's going to be happening. Also, make sure to protect your crypto. I'm not going to tell you guys it again. Make sure you protect your crypto. It is crucial. Now, right now, you might not be able to protect your Hbar because it's extremely hard to get your Hbar onto cold storage. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you want to protect your crypto, if you want to make sure that it's all secure, I'm going to post a link right now in the chat. I'm actually going to pin it as well. Guys, you need to protect your crypto because if you do not, these exchanges that are constantly getting hacked, all right, it's ridiculous at this point. You need to protect your crypto as much as possible. I have moved nearly all of my crypto onto cold storage, and I'm waiting and waiting and waiting until the next major event happens to move my crypto back to just, sell or anything like that. That is the only time that I'm going to move my crypto off of cold storage. So if you guys do want to protect your crypto, go over to Ledger and get yourselves a nice ledger. I got the Nano X because the Nano X is incredible, but overall, that is what you need to do. But yes, Hbar is already making smart contracts outdated. It is killing nearly every other asset in the space that is doing smart contracts. I'm telling you guys. And just like Jeff is saying, he feels like Hbar is the next one to break out. It truly is. Also, yes, the ledger is not cheap, but it is definitely more than worth it. Think about it like this. Would you rather spend, I don't know, I forgot the price of it. It's like $128 or something like that. I forgot. But would you rather spend that little bit of amount of money, or would you rather your thousands of dollars that you have invested into these crypto assets, and all of a sudden you wake up tomorrow and somebody hacked the exchange and all of your crypto is gone? I mean, think about it like that. So, realistically speaking, yes, 100% protect your crypto. If they're not your keys, they're not your crypto. You don't own it. So, yeah, definitely go and get yourselves a ledger. Right now, Hbar is not fully live on Ledger Live. It's not supported fully, but you can still get it on there. It's a process and a half. It sucks, I get it, but I think that at some point in time, it will pretty much get supported 100%. So, with that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap this live stream up. It's been incredible. It's been an incredible 40-some minutes talking to you guys about Hbar, talking to you guys about the market. I think that the market has shown extreme strength. Honestly, you guys are incredible. I cannot believe how fast we are growing. It is absolutely crazy. And yes, do not buy ledgers off of Amazon or any other site. Use the link that is pinned. It's the official Ledger shop. Trust me, guys. Make sure to get it off of Ledger's website alone. If you do not, you risk the idea of giving away your crypto to individuals out there that are tampering with the Ledger technology. So please do not buy from anywhere else. You can use the link that I have pinned in the Discord, or in the chat, sorry. But with that being said, I hope that you guys all have an incredible day or an incredible night. Just remember, Hbar is life-changing gains. So with that being said, thank you all for stopping by. Thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate it greatly. Guys, we are going to the moon and beyond. Just be patient. It's going to take a little bit more time, but it is what it is. But with that being said, if you guys do want more free content, there's links down in the description below, as well as in the comments below. You guys can follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below and all that stuff. But anyways, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.